are live and on lockdown.
Are you ready?
Broadcasting from Edinburgh, Scotland and across the globe.
Listen here.
You're listening to Ramsay Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders podcast. The host, Fraser Ramsay.
Hey, this is Afia Leatham, creator of the Frame Your Day app, helping you walk out every day in victory. I'm proud to be a sponsor of Ramsay Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders.
Hi, this is Zakia Ringgold from naturalsoapbyzakia.com, proud sponsors of the Ramsay Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders podcast.
Welcome to a joint edition of the Ramsay Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders podcast and the Speak Easy podcast with Altavi Spelzer. I have completely butchered that already in only 2 seconds. So we're doing a joint podcast, a simple joint podcast, just to simply welcome, give people a wee Christmassy message, just to say, listen, talk to people around the world, to share who they are, what they do, play some tunes, wee Christmas message, and to simply just tell us what their plans are for 2020 and what they're aiming to achieve. If they've got any set goals, they might want to carry on something from this year to next year that they're building. And so basically, it's just as simple as that. It's relaxed, easy chat. It's the festive period, and it's that time of year where I'm just kind of doing Christmas shopping, running daft at the best of times. So that's pretty much what we're doing. We are doing it on video, but we are going to be in the audio, so you hear some tunes in between. As I say, so if you're listening in the car, you'll be able to jam away and just dance away and boogie in while you're driving, listen to some trusty tunes and enjoying the festive period as you go. So as I say, it's me. So you've got the host of the Speak Easy podcast. I can't even speak. I've lost the plot. But anyway, Speak Easy podcast. Altavi Spelzer. I'm absolutely losing my dumbass. I think my brain's not quite connecting with my mouth at the moment. So you've got the Speak Easy podcast, Altavi. So thank you for agreeing to do a joint podcast. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. Of course, we have a lot going on. Ending out the year strong, trying to start 2020 stronger. And man, I love being able to do cross promotions though, because listen, as podcasters, we have our own world and it's a pretty supportive world. So I love doing things like this.
I will have to keep myself muted so I don't get an echo, just to make sure that, because there's a bit of an echo kicking around somewhere. So let's start off. We'll hang off for Joe a second. Thea, what are you up to? Are you driving your Uber, or are you parking, or I don't know.
Hey. Yeah, I'm in the car. That's my other side of my life. How's everybody going on tonight?
Okay, let's start off with Thea. So let's do this. So Thea, on a crossover podcast from Ramsay Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders, with the Speak Easy podcast with your host, Altavis. Give us your Christmas message to everybody.
My Christmas message would be not to be fearful of meeting new people. The essence of Christmas is, family gathering, getting together, enjoying each other's company. And with that being said, sometimes, even as podcasters, and, we go out and go get those interviews, we go out and, we say, hey, here's a link, and you are welcome to come on my podcast and talk about what it is that you do, what you want to promote. But the essence of getting to know other people through conversations, simple conversations. Christmas is about unity. And so therefore, I want people to not be afraid of being themselves, really being themselves, outside of the brand and outside of what it is that you've got to say and what outside of your promotion. No, let's get back to basics as it's relating to getting to know people and allowing people to know you. So let's not be so stifled and so staunch in some of the promoting things and the marketing things, but let's just share who we are and allow other people to come into our way and not to our path, and to be open and honest and just genuine. Just enjoy who you are and revel in the moment and enjoy other people. And not be so salesy and not be so markety and not be, that's important. But guess what? Let's get back to basics. and let's enjoy people during this season.
So tell people what is it you do, and what is it your just a brief, and then tell us what your kind of rough idea going forward.
Yes. So my name is Dorothea Robinson, as it's labeled on that little black little space down there, and it also says the extra strategist. I assist women who are in intimate partner abusive relationships. I get them out. I write strategic plans for them. I also happen to be a podcaster. I also happen to be a speaker. I also happen to be a woman on fire to ensure that not one more butterfly is in captivity, that she's set free.
So what are your goals for 2020? What do you hope to achieve?
2020 goals are to begin at a place where women who want to reach back to assist other women, that they are trained properly. My goal is to set up training for those who want to reach back, but do it most effectively, and to be able to understand who they are in their small businesses as advocates. And my goal is to serve at least 1,000 advocates and to have them trained properly so that they can be most effective right in their area in order to begin to save women's lives who are suffering through intimate partner abuse and domestic violence.
That's brilliant. Altavis, you're going to say that you want to ask any? You sure? I'm not just about me talking. Come on, girl. You can talk away.
No, I was sitting here going, that was perfect. She nailed that, right?
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's good. So do you want to pick? Well, I'm going to just. What we'll do? You can. Do you want to say anything that you say? Obviously, ask Dorothea. I really have lost the plot. I really have not asked Dorothea any questions. Thanks.
Oh no, but what I do want to say is, congrats to you, Thea, because that's a huge task to take on, especially over the holidays. So, give us one fact about domestic violence that the audience may not know.
Well, during the holiday, this is turnip season. What do I mean by that? This is the season in which the rate of domestic violence and intimate partner abuse rates go up. Wintertime, people are stuck in the houses. There are more parties, and there's more merriment, and there's more times where there are gatherings where alcohol is served. Is alcohol the catalyst for domestic violence? No, it's all about control. However, we find that between Thanksgiving and the Super Bowl season, those are the times in which those rates for domestic violence and intimate partner abuse go through the roof. And I just wanted to share that piece because we are all advocates, each and every one of us, in our own right, in our own way. If you have 4 sisters, I promise you, one of them may be in a domestic violence, intimate partner abusive relationship. 1 in 4 women are in an abusive relationships, according to stats. So that means if you have 4 women in your family, and if you interview them, and if they're brave enough, one of them will admit. So it's so super important that we understand that between Thanksgiving, which we celebrate here in the States, and I understand we're all over here, that time to the Super Bowl is when the rates go up.
Okay, that's brilliant. So we've got some other guests coming, which is great. So we have on this podcast, and we have, for those we will come to them down the line. We have Patrick Voss from Chicago. We have Guy R. Cook from the Guy R. Cook Report podcast in Walla Walla. And we have singer-songwriter Joe Warren in England. I met him in York, but where he's staying, I can't remember, but he'll tell us. Anyway, but it's all good fun. It's good. But anyway, he's got music and he's great and it's brilliant. But he'll tell us the story about him and what his plans are. And Pat Voss as well. Guy Cook, he's got several stories about me, even though I met him online several years ago. And he'll tell his story about how he started his podcast as well and what he does. So it's all good. But so thank you for that, Thea. That was brilliant. And what guest do you want to come to next, Altavis? Who do you think?
So I think we're going to go next with Joe.
Okay, it's Joe. Well, I'll let you.
So thank you so much for joining us, Joe. Listen, we want to know, what do you have planned for 2020? What does 2020 look like for you? And what's your holiday message to all of the listeners?
So, as a songwriter, I'm always writing, and that's probably my biggest downfall, is that I'm always writing. So when it comes to recording things, I'm like, well, I had this a week ago, but now I've got this. And so, it's this constant, things just keep getting set back and back. But no, we're good. I'm working on a record at the moment. It started off as 4 songs, and it's now like 6, 7, probably 8 by the time it gets finished, because I just keep writing. But yeah, it's amazing. I'm living the dream, just writing, doing what I enjoy doing, and is just seeing how far that can go and push that as far as it can go. Because I feel like you have to, if you want to be able to, to wedge your music, your ideas, your songs into people's minds, then it has to be the best of your ability. So, that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm just trying to get the best of my ability. And
I love it. I love it. I know one of the ways, I have to ask this question because I know people that are listening are probably going to ask, are you on TikTok?
No.
What? You're not on TikTok?
No. What? I've been told I have a terrible sense of humor, and it just doesn't, I don't get it.
But it's TikTok. Everybody. Okay. I guess I'll let you slide this go around.
That's brilliant. Of all the questions in the world, I did not expect to be asked that question.
Yes, because I see a lot of people going on to TikTok right now, and some of them are singing some of their own songs. Some of them are just singing a lot of other people are, It
is spreading, and it is spreading fast. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's something I'd ever do, but
I don't know. Listeners, what y'all think? I think we should have Joe go on TikTok. I think that's going to be a poll that we have. And
my friends are going to find this so funny.
So just quickly, Joe, tell us where you're from. Just tell people who you are. Tell us about you, and go from there.
I was born and raised in a small. We got instated as a city in a small city in England called Doncaster. It's the closest thing that people might know is Sheffield. It's close to, which is currently where I'm studying music. I'm studying music in Sheffield, which is it's not nice having to get the train there every day, but it's worth it for what's there. But I was born and raised in Doncaster. And we used to have these like jam on Sundays, they were called, at the local pub. And I would go at like 7 years old, and there's videos on YouTube of me playing this bar at like 7 years old. And my friend would play the guitar and I would sing, and it was like, we were not good, but it was fun and we enjoyed it. And then because of that, my mum and my dad said to me one day, they said, it's probably time that you picked up an instrument. And I went, I'm pretty sure I went, I want to play the drums. And they went, no, too loud. Anyway, 8 years later, here we are. I'm playing the guitar, and it's been the best friend I've ever had. It's like, it is, I think Mark Knopfler says, a guitar is a friend to you all your life. And as sad as that sounds, it's really fun. And so I started writing songs, and and then I came across country music, and then recently, around like a year ago, I came across blues music. And then I always say that one of my favorite artists says that you develop your style when you fail to sound like who you want to sound like. So when I try to sound like him, and legends of blues, people like B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Albert King, and then legends of country, you've got Tim McGraw, current guys like Luke Combs. If you're from America, he's massive over there at the moment. A guy called Morgan Wallen, as they say in America, So and these people combined together, they're me. in essence, which is really fun. And I enjoy bringing out that inner, them in me. And then that's my sound, which is cool.
So what's your recent song that you recently wrote and you sent to me? We're going to play it on the podcast, actually.
So this tune it's actually one of my favorites. This is a demo that we recorded. It's called Whiskey Was Made for a Heartbreak, which was a very country sounding song. When I wrote it, it was actually really major. And then I thought, well, let's just go down this route of just being this really minor, this blues thing, because, blues isn't just a genre. It's people don't say feeling blue for nothing. It's an expression and it's a feeling. So I thought, let's get this blues thing in. I think you can really hear that with the lead guitar on the track, which was really nice. That was my favorite thing about it, was just getting to, the lead stuff was amazing. And I can't thank, this track wouldn't be possible without my friends from Electric Casino. They're an alternative like rock pop band from Sheffield, where I live, and we had Kane Ibbotson played bass guitar, Jack Skilbeck Dunn played drums on this track, and Elliot Britton helped me out with some of the lead guitar work, and it was just it was amazing. And Callum Little as well was the guy in the chair, as I call it, the guy who sits there and does all the mixing and things. That said, we didn't actually mix this track because we left it as a demo, but he, recorded and dropped us in place and things. So none of it's possible without these guys. So, I have to thank those massively for it. But we went down the really blues line and I think it turned out really nicely. The lead guitar work is really nice. And I think it's a great first single for, first time actually getting into a studio and recording, but there's more to come, which is always great.
Ask anything else, Avis, and you go.
Oh my goodness! So I didn't have anything else to ask because I'm sitting here. I didn't already stalk them online, so that part. And we're still going to be fighting. I know we're going to fight to get him on TikTok. You guys, listen. Y'all really want Joe on TikTok, and we're going to fight for that on your behalf.
So Joe. So what's your goals, Joe, for 2020? What do you want to aim for?
2020. God, that's a great question. I would like to get the record out. I said by the end of January. So that's a work in progress. I'm still learning. I think everyone is learning. Whatever they do. Whether it's Doretha in her business or you guys with podcasts or me with music, Pat with voiceovers, it's everyone's learning, all the time. And, so I'd like to get the record out. That would be cool. And I'd like to just be more versatile with one of my great idols is John Mayer, who, again, more famous in America, but, he is, people like him, Stevie Ray Vaughan, these kind of great guitar players. I kind of want to take more things from them. So I guess if I was to say three things, I'd get the record out, just keep grinding out the guitar and try and build a following, because, I want to do this for a living. And the dream is to sell out world tours and to sell out arenas and things. And, that might not be something that you ever get, but you won't get it by not aiming for it. So
there we go. So you are listening to the Crossover Podcast, Ramsay Unleashed, Going Beyond Borders, with myself, the host, and also the Speakeasy Podcast with your host, Altavis Pelzer, and also creator of the World Voice League, who did earlier this year, interviewed over 200 odd people within every day, at least, and let's say it was like must be like wired on coffee after that. But certainly it was must have been actually slept for about 3 months.
It feels like that sometimes,
Slept for about 3 months afterwards, but no, that was so. Yeah, it's yours, the crossover. So let Joe introduce your track. So for those who are listening to the audio version, we'll hear your music as it is a video. So you'll hear your tune, and then we'll come back to our next guest. So Joe, introduce your music, your tune.
My name is Joe Warren. I'm a 17-year-old singer-songwriter from England, and this song is called Whiskey Was Made for a Heartbreak.
The water was made for the sea, and the sand was made for the beach. Guitars and smoky bars and firesides were made for good old boys like me. And headphones were made for the train, and umbrellas were made for the rain. And disappointment and happiness were made for the outcome of a Friday night football game. But whiskey was made for a heartbreak, the way it warms you up inside. And whiskey was made for a heartache, for a love that couldn't survive. Stars, they were made for the sky, and the planes, they were built to fly. Oh, and you can take one to anywhere in the world. Oh, but baby, I'm on your mind. But whiskey was made for a heartbreak, you up inside. And whiskey was made for a heartache, for a love that couldn't survive. So why'd you up and leave me? Why'd you have to go so soon? But I guess whiskey was made for a heartbreak, like the one I'm feeling because of you.
Okay, welcome back. That was Joe Warren's song, Whiskey for a Heartbreak, was it? Whiskey?
Yeah, Whiskey was made for a heartbreak.
Yeah,
Whiskey was made, you got to get it right, Fraser. Whiskey was made for heartbreak.
I know.
Got to feel it.
I think I'm losing my teeth today. I'm not quite. I'm up early this morning and I'm thinking, oh, jinx, this is not quite. So it's all good. So who do you want to go, which guest out of the other two do you want to go for now?
I've been hearing a lot about Pat, and so I want to hear some things from Pat. And I see him over there, and he is ready. I think he's ready to give it all to us, because I heard that he does some pretty cool things.
So Pat Voss, welcome to the joint podcast. How you doing? Oh, you're on mute, I think. I can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
Well, can you hear me now?
All good. We're ready to rock and roll.
All right. And thank you, Altavis, for going ahead and choosing me next. especially after that fine song from Joe. Definitely, I appreciate you guys and Ramsey in particular for inviting me on here today. My name is Pat Voss. I am a voiceover artist from Chicago. I also do, my main job is running a sports show every Wednesday afternoon on a local radio station in the Chicagoland suburbs. I also am the PA announcer for Northern Illinois University Huskies hockey, and I am a new writer for Cubby's Crib, a fan-sided site, cubbiescrib.com.
There we go.
So, Fraser, what have you got for me? And by the way, whiskey was made for heartbreak. Let's get it right, and that's why you hire me to do the voiceovers.
Of course. There we go. I told you, it's late for me and Joe in the UK, so we're kind of...
There's a reason why you hire me. Anyways, go ahead, Fraser. What do you have for me, man?
Well, I'll do these. Do you want to ask Pat anything?
So how did you get into voiceovers? I mean, let's be honest. Everybody in their mind wants to think that they have that perfect radio voice, but that's not the case.
Absolutely. So your question to me is how did I get into it?
Yes. So how did you get into it? What made you say, you know what, this is something that can be profitable for me? Okay, so I got into it by watching my father for almost 20 years be in the radio business. He has basically the same voice I have. In fact, we just did an episode yesterday that he sat in for my co-host, and it basically sounded like I was talking to myself for 2 hours. But he has a great voice, by the way, and that's what I love him for is his voice and how he conducts himself on radio. But as far as voiceovers, I heard him cutting commercials since I was about 4 years old. And my voice being as high as it was back then before it dropped in high school, I couldn't do it, but I would still have my boombox or my recording device, and I would listen to myself back. And, the Chicago Bulls win the NBA Finals. And you can't do it at that time because you have a high voice. And when it finally dropped, all of a sudden, here we are. And now I'm doing voiceovers are actually my side business, but I do help out businesses. Now I help out YouTubers, podcasters. I'm helping out with a podcast app. I can't say what it is now, but I will have information for it later on. There is a sports podcasting app that's coming, I believe, in January, right at New Year's Day. And I will be one of the first podcasts brand new on there, also cutting my own intro.
There we go. Brilliant. That's good. You just don't leave that cold sore alone, mate. You just make it worse.
Oh, man, I can't even. It was so bad, right on the corner of the mouth, too, when I have to speak into my microphone. And my mic in studio is on the other side of my face. So, of course, I'm right up against it. But go ahead. Nothing
worse having a cold sore. They're horrible, especially when it's this time of year. Absolutely horrible. It's like a horrible lump on your lips. But never mind the joys. I digress. So tell those who are listening, who's Pat Voss?
Who is Pat Voss? Okay. Pat Voss is a motivated individual. There is a hustle hard respect that I think I get from a lot of people once they meet me. I don't think it's a thing that you can just say, hey, by the way, Pat Voss cut a new promo, or hey, by the way, Pat Voss just did 15 shows in 7 days. Like, there's not that deal. You have to know me personally. You have to sit down with me and talk to me. And I think when people do that, or look me up, I think that's when the respect comes. Like with Fraser, he is always working very hard to get what he wants to accomplish done. And I think that's kind of what I model myself after is a mindset like that. If I'm not going to work hard to get it done, even though I may face tons and tons of pressure and anxiety or depression or whatever it is with having mental illness, I still think at the end of the day, this is what I want to do. This is what I know I can entertain people with. And I know where my niche is, so I'm going to thrive inevitably, I think.
But you also struggle. I've interviewed Pat in the past.
Yes.
With Dorothea, who has helps people in domestic violence, getting out of domestic violence and things. Pat also has struggled with bipolar, and you want to talk about that a little bit, just to give people an insight?
I guess so. So since I'm meeting all of you newly, let's make this a long story, a short story. I was diagnosed with type 1 bipolar disorder in 2013 after a suicide attempt in early 2013. I have been hospitalized in different facilities due to type 1 bipolar disorder and the depression that comes with it 7 times in the last 6 years. I do struggle with that on a day-to-day basis, and I am currently one of the speaking members of NAMI Chicago, National Alliance of Mental Illness. I am one of the current speakers, keynote speakers rather, every single year here in downtown Chicago. But I think that with these struggles, with what I'm going through, like I said before, if I'm not willing to adapt to it, if I'm not willing to adapt in some way, even though, again, and this is something maybe a little too real for some people, I have suicidal thoughts every day. But I know that those are thoughts that just come into my head because of my bipolar disorder, not because I'm actually going to do something about them in the moment, and unless I choose to act on them. So what I'm saying is, if I don't give them enough power to act on them, yes, it may be depressing. It may get me feeling down. I may not be able to write the article I wanted for the day, or I may not, that one guest I had to cancel on because I have to reschedule for 2 days down the road. Fine. But at least I keep going, though, and at the end of the day, I can say that I do the things that I do, even with what I have. Now, I'm not saying do anything that I've done. Don't follow the same path as me as far as where I'm at now with medications and what have you. Don't follow me. Find your own way, whatever that is that makes you the most comfortable, not all the way comfortable, but the most comfortable to live with mental illness or whatever's going on with you that you're struggling with. Figure out if it's a mental stressor, figure out what it is that you can do on an everyday basis to cope with, I guess, in a way, those mental stressors and be able to live your everyday life, even though obviously to the outside world, I'm Pat Voss, the sports and science guy. But to everyone else, I'm just Pat Voss who struggles with bipolar disorder and can't sleep at night and goes out and goes out to go to a local bar. And no, I don't drink. So before you guys get the wrong idea, it's because they have free pool there. But I go out to a local bar to shoot pool while I can't sleep to relax a little bit. So it's like the people that really know me as that and don't know me as, they just know me as that. And, oh, by the way, I'm the guy that does voiceovers. That's kind of the way they look at me.
That's really, I love that, because when we think about the speaking industry, when we think about the podcasting industry, it allows us a platform. And one of the greatest things that I love about the platform that it allows us to have is for us to be able to say to people, it's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
And to stand in your truth, whatever that is. So I love that there are so many different versions and different genres of podcasts, because they speak to someone. And for so long, I think a lot of times we felt like we were by ourselves. So there's nobody else out in the world like me. I'm going through this by myself. And that's what makes it a lot tougher for people, when you think nobody's going to understand, nobody's going to relate, and nobody's had it as hard as you've had it.
Well, and the thing that I notice is, what you have to realize is that's the reason I joined NAMI in the first place, is because for that, I knew what platform I could thrive on for that issue. But as far as where people would know me and I could get paid, I knew it was going to be sports and entertainment. I knew it was going to be broadcasting and voiceover. I mean, it was almost, if people want to hear me talk about quantum mechanics and astrophysics, fine. But I think mostly it's going to be about sports and, sports broadcasting. So since they know me like that, I knew that in my spare time on the weekends, I'm talking about doing not shows, but keynote speaking events with NAMI in Chicago and the surrounding areas. And then during the week, doing my show and producing and cutting promos. I can do both. I just know where the niche is now for me. Now, there's other podcasters that's the first thing they thought and said, I'm going to make something about mental illness or combating mental illness or whatever it is. I'm going to make a podcast about that. Okay, that's good for you guys, but I can't do it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, because everyone has their niche. I'm just saying myself personally, I would fail probably pretty hard trying to do a consistent podcast about mental illness versus something like sports and entertainment, because I know I can roll with that.
Oh, well, I'm going to say that I think we should nominate Pat for a Pulitzer. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just saying. Because now podcasters can get Pulitzer prizes, I think.
Well, by the way, you say that I should be nominated for a prize, and I say that, Joe, don't do it, man. Joe, don't do it. Don't go to TikTok, man. It's a waste of time, man. Don't go to TikTok. No, that's for the X-Vine stars. Don't go to TikTok.
I'm with you there. I'm with you.
Wait, that is so funny.
Right. So, Pat, where can people reach you? What's your aim for 2020? What do you want to achieve, and where can people reach you as well?
All right, that's easy. Here we go. Take a deep breath like Ace Ventura and get it all out. Anyways, here we go. 2020, I will be working for ESPN 1000 again, I believe. I truly believe it. I think I had a short stint with them after high school. I went to a broadcasting program in the suburbs of Chicago, got certified, worked for them as an intern, was working boards and production and on air, fill in overnights. So I truly believe that by the end of 2020, I will be working again for ESPN 1000 here in Chicago, or 670 The Score, the other big sports station here. Whether or not it's production or on air, I know that I have an idea. I'll get my foot in the door, or back in the door rather, in one of the big stations. That is my 2020 for you guys. As far as where you can reach me, now, Frazier, I know I've had 15 different names since you've known me. All these different names, all these different things going on, but I figured I would be the most professional I can be and try to stick with it as long as I can. You can reach me, and it's very soon Periscope will be the same way, but Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all the same. Patrick M. Voss. M as in Michael. Patrick M. Voss, VOSS like the water. That is my handle for everything and will be for everything. And I swear I will get it in about 15 days or so. It'll be Periscope as well. So all of my social media will be up to date.
What's your Christmas message for the festive period to everybody? They love this question.
Okay, you want a real Christmas message, or you want a buttered up Christmas message?
Well, whatever you want to do. It's just it's good to have it's the festive time. So what do you want at your
All right, real Christmas message. Let's do it. Stop paying attention to the news, everybody. Regardless of what side you sit on news coverage right now, at least for the holiday season, enjoy yourselves for Christmas. Enjoy yourselves for New Year's. If you want to still keep up with news, go ahead, but don't. When it comes to conversation, try your hardest not to bring it up, because I think that all that would do is you're kind of looking for trouble in that way. So regardless, and like I said, regardless of, I'm not saying where I stand on things, and I don't care where other people stand on theirs either. It's just, I don't want to see problems over a holiday season, especially this at the end of the year. And we're trying to close out 2019 and get to 2020 and all be successful in whatever success means for us. So let's try that. Let's try that for a change, and maybe it'll work out for us.
There we go. Thank you. That's brilliant.
And you're listening to Fraser Ramsey Going Beyond Borders podcast.
So there we go. And you to say to Altavis Pelzer Speakeasy podcast. Give that a bash.
And also, you're listening to Altavis Pelzer and the Speakeasy podcast here live, recorded with Zoom.
There we go. There we go. Brilliant.
He's going to edit me on that one. Thank you.
There we go. Well.
Hey everybody, Pat Voss here, your local broadcaster and voiceover guy. For voiceovers, contact me now at broadcasterpat@gmail.com or DM me on Twitter and Instagram at GLDNvoice_shine now. To hear me on the radio, go to 98.3 FM WRLR, the voice of Lake County, either the website or the TuneIn app now. And again, thank you so much to Ramsay Unleashed Going Beyond Borders podcast. And now, back to the show.
Would it be crazy if I gave you a call? If we talked for hours and we had a ball? It wouldn't be crazy except that it's Christmas Eve. Would it be crazy if I took you out? We spent all our money over town. It wouldn't be crazy except that It's Christmas Eve. It might be foolish or insane, but I've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. No jingle bells, no gifts and no tree could really give me what I want this Christmas Eve. Would it be crazy if I gave you a ring? We found some preacher to finish this thing. It wouldn't be crazy except that it's Christmas Eve. Would it be crazy if I took you home and starting from right now we were never alone? It wouldn't be crazy except that it's Christmas Eve. It wouldn't be crazy except that it's Christmas Eve.
We will be having people's connect a little bit of connect where the people can connect. They're in the show notes of the podcast on your music as well. We'll be putting some general tunes in the mix when you listen to this. It's been good it's a nice wee. But we're going to our last guy. Well, the last is the last at the moment, and he is Mr. Guy Cook, all the way from Walla Walla. We can't actually hear you. You need to come on. You need to take yourself off mute if you're on.
There's a danger in that.
There we go.
Let me qualify that, Fraser. My Indian name. I have a cousin that's in the Choctaw tribe, and my wife said, "Well, what would Guy's Indian name be?" It's Talk a Lot.
Okay.
It's a translation. I thought I would be like Soaring Eagle, something really cool, like a John Wayne movie type of name. No, it's Talk a Lot. I tell long stories. I talk too much.
So
let me tell you before you get to remedy yourself. Oh
my God!
Let me embarrass Fraser a little bit.
Fraser, talk a lot. I think
it was a Thursday afternoon. And Fraser said, I've been playing with Canva, I think it was. I made some graphics so you could have a podcast. Well, unknown to Fraser at the time, I'd been planning a podcast for over a year, thinking, I should do this. But because I have a background in radio and TV and so forth, we won't go into that. I wanted it to be just right, like Baby Bear's porridge. So I kept putting it off. No, I don't have the graphics yet. I can't do it this month. I'll have to wait a while. Let me think up a graphic. Well, he came up with some. I said, that might be divine intervention. It might be just time to pop the clutch and roll this truck down the road and see what happens. And so I did. And it was born, and now 700 plus episodes later, it's called the Guy R. Cook Report. And it's, if you got a minute, I'm the guy that focuses on internet solutions for business that have a budget. So if you've got a budget for an internet solution, you got a question, ask me. I've been doing it since. One lady said, "How long you been doing the internet?" I said, "Well, they didn't have pictures when I started. It was all text." And there, I'll stop. See, he should have warned you.
She does.
I just had a flashback to the floppy disk and the old computers with the green screen.
Remember signature files?
Oh my goodness!
And so you could identify yourself on your Shell account. You had to have a .sig file, and then people could say, "Who is this person?" And they could look up your name and address and contact information. Oh boy. Yeah.
Joe
So
was
anyway,
like, wait, what?
yes, yeah. Before you were born, Joe, I was doing this.
Before Joe's parents were born, probably as well.
Yeah. What is this?
I'm just Guy. Tell us. Let's start with Guy. Tell us who is Guy. Tell us about you. Okay.
Well, okay. History. In 1981, before Joe's parents were born, the trip of the day was to go to this convenience store, Bi-Mart here in Walla Walla, and I was looking at computers, and I said, if I don't get one of these and learn how to do it, I'm going to be a ditch digger. Because at that time, all I had was a high school diploma. I said, I need to learn this computer stuff. I think this is going to be a fad that catches on. And so I started with that, and I kept doing it. And then when the National Science Foundation said they were going to withdraw their grant that funded the internet way back in the day, in the 90s, and I said, if I learned how to make these web page things they talk about, I bet people would buy them, because I was selling radio time. Joe can identify with that. You've seen a radio before. And
I used to do that as well.
Yeah. So the journey then became one of perfecting skills that provided solutions and the internet. And so like if a person needed to have, like one time Fraser was talking to me about his podcast that he does over in Scotland, and he said, I need to have some stingers. So you ready, Mr. Voss? Write this one down. In the dog-eat-dog world of podcasting, Fraser Ramsay has a leg up on the competition.
The rest of the competition is a bunch of fire hoses to Fraser Ramsay.
Oh, Jinx.
Well, Altavis liked that one pretty well. So anyway,
it took a hot second, but once I caught it, I was, oh man.
So I warned you. I told you I talk a lot, but that's what we do. Is we look at solutions for questions. Like if Joe says, "What do you think about TikTok?" I would say, "I've never heard of it." Until you said it just now, I've never heard the name. But I'm not a musician, so I guess I got an out.
What is Twitter?
No, Twitter I know about. I think I have about 4 or 5 Twitter accounts.
He got 2 phones.
Yeah, you have to reach out to Guy anything.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So with everything that you've been able to do as a podcaster, do you how far do you see yourself going with this? Are you just like, you know what, this is it. I'm not doing anything else. Don't ask me to tie shoes. Don't ask me I don't want to cook dinner. Listen, if we can order out every day, we'd order out every day. I just want to show up, do my show, and that's it.
Okay, how far I want to see this go is I want to provide hosting is the next thing. At one time, back in 2009, I worked, or no, before then, 2009, I worked at Volt. When did I work at TSCnet? 2003, I worked for the 9th biggest ISP in Central Puget Sound in Seattle area. We're the 9th biggest. And then I kind of saw this writing on the wall that hosting was kept going down in price, down in price, down in price. We couldn't compete. And then the cloud happened, and that basically put me out of business. There was no more co-location. That was a dinosaur. That died a slow death. And so now I've just registered a domain. I'm going to go into selling hosting as an affiliate with a hosting company that's darn good. In fact, they're based in Seattle, or not in Seattle, in Chicago. And they're called SiteGround. Remember that name. And if you need a solution for a web hosting project, talk to me. I've been doing it for a long, long time.
lights up on the tree. Stockings hanging on the chimney. Oh, what fun it is to see. Having good times with family. Oh, what a time. It's Christmas again. No, what a time. It's Christmas again. And oh, what a time. It's Christmas again. The only gift I want this year is to have my family near. This Christmas. This Christmas. This Christmas. This Christmas. Sneaking kisses under mistletoe. Making angels in the snow. Things like this create memories I'll carry with me till I'm 93. Oh, what a time. It's Christmas again. And oh, what's a time that it's Christmas again. Oh, what a time. It's Christmas again. The only gift I want this year is to have my family near. This Christmas. This Christmas. This Christmas. This Christmas time brings out the joy in everyone. Little girls and boys are having so much fun. Don't forget the reason for this time of year. So tell the ones you love you're bringing blessings from above. This Christmas. This Christmas. This Christmas. This Christmas. And I can't wait for Christmas. This Christmas. I can't wait for Christmas. This year. Oh, I can't wait. This Christmas. No, I can't wait. I can't wait. This Christmas. I can't wait for Christmas this year. This Christmas. I can't wait. I can't wait.
There we go. So where can people connect with you? What about?
Well, because we're talking about podcasts, we have to go to Podbean, of course. So you go to the GeyerCookReport.podbean.com.
Let's go.
And when you go to the show notes there's a link for the contact me video that talks about my phone number and my about.me, Whack Geyer Cook, et cetera, et cetera.
He literally has it on the wall behind him. Why did you ask Fraser?
Well, he's Scottish, you see.
I know. I did ask him. Well, it's for the listeners.
This happened as a result of a friend of ours, that my co-host during 2016 stint with the podcast. He told me about a software called Ripple, and they was making different graphics and stuff to use in social media. And so one day I said, well, what if I did the GeyerCookReport.podbean.com? What would that look like? And it came out, and my wife went, ooh, that's an ochre image. That's a gradient background. Oh, I like that. And so that became the sign to put in the car window.
That's cool. Well, we'll have all your, as I say, we'll have your note. What your Christmas message, your festive message to everybody?
I'm gonna mirror what the man in Chicago said. Forget about what all the fluff and nonsense is in the news. Spend time with your family, because that phone call I got a minute ago, because I forgot to turn the phone off because I was getting the link for Zoom off of there. That was family calling. So that's number one. You can't replace them. It's pretty hard to get parts for a 1955 Darlene.
So, Guy, are you in on the movement of Altavis to get Joe on TikTok?
No, I'm the guy that said I've never heard of TikTok. I don't even know the name. So, but let me tell you this though, I'm a blues fan. I'm the guy that bought the National Public Radio Station in Seattle a copy of the B.B. King album Deuces Wild because they didn't have it yet.
Right.
I knew I was getting old, Joe, because I went to the record store at the Walmart. Actually, went to Walmart. I said, "Do you have the latest B.B. King album?" And the girl behind the counter said, "Who?" I said, "Oh gosh, I've really gotten old." And then a guy that was working there, older guy, and probably in his 40s, he says, "Oh, I know who B.B. King is." And true story. One time I was at a buffet, and the road 300 shows a year. That meant out of all the nights that he slept in his bed, 300 of them were in a room. Okay, so build a posse. Don't try to write music, play music, be good at the blues, and do all the other stuff. Okay, build a team.
There's the advice from the Gara Creek report. Here's a wee different with me and Vise being the hosts, Alta Vise. Was any of the guests like to ask any of the guests each other questions that you've listened to about each other?
Absolutely. Why would I not?
Go for it.
So back to this TikTok thing. So I have 3 teenagers. And so they were shocked when I said, Ma has a TikTok account. So this is my take. I like to be able to reach people on all types of platforms. And for me, TikTok, yes, I know it is like, for those who did buy, now they have a place. But I took it a step further. So the message, what it is that I like to get out and how to reach people, I know that I speak about domestic violence, but I don't come off DV, because that's a turnoff. However, I try to reach people, young people, where they are. So I've developed a pattern. I've developed a system on how I upload different things. I will upload a video that may talk about, or the very first one I did, I put up a video of a woman crying. And in the video it said, something to the effect that, here we go again. Here we're being beaten again. And she's being raw in her moment. So I uploaded that video. I got over 25K views. The next video, I come back and I give a little message. Now that may not get as many views as the first one. And I know why the first one got. We all like to see different pictures. And unfortunately, DV articles or DV pictures of abuse, actual abuse, they're going to get a lot of views. But my next post is something thoughtful. My next post will be maybe a video or a picture to draw attention to. So there's a system in which it is that I use TikTok. Yeah, TikTok may be for Vine users or people who like to show off what they do and some of the mishaps. I don't know if you saw the one where the mother and son, which was a joyous moment, they were learning that new dance they were doing with the feet. But mom had socks on a wooden flat surface, and it didn't go so well. And that got uploaded. So I know videos and pictures. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was not funny to see mom fall down, but she did. But,
not my mom.
Yeah, right? She was bold just to even be able to say, yeah, go ahead and upload it. But I want to take it a step further. I want to be able to reach people, younger people, have them aware by seeing the videos, but also have them aware that there's an out. So there's a way to use TikTok.
Oh, Pat, you were going to say something? You were going to ask some questions?
Not on top of that, though, so I don't want to necessarily drive the conversation so far away from what we were just talking about, but it was actually going to be for people like Joe and Guy and Altaviz, and not so much yourself, Fraser.
Thanks. Cheers.
Happy days.
Oh, my goodness.
Listen, happy days all around. But for Altaviz, Joe and Guy, Joe, have you ever considered creating a podcast of your own and doing like, hey, let's do some samples of my own music, what I'm writing now? You keep people that are listeners and viewers of yours up to date on a week-to-week or maybe a once-a-month basis of what you're involved with and what may be upcoming events. That way, if they're in the area, they can have links to these things in your podcast as well, and maybe they can show up to that. That's one, and then I'm going to deal with Guy and Altaviz here in a second.
Yeah, so I think it's really important to keep whatever following you have, keep them informed as to what's going on in your life, because this idea of people being famous, you kind of want. You want to know what they're doing. If you, I'm sure we all have people that we, enjoy watching, whether it's comedians or musicians and things, and you want to know how they're getting on and what they're doing. And I think that can be a bad side that can come with a job. I wish that if I was famous, I'd wish that I could only be as well known musically as I am. Forget my private life. I just wish I could be, as well known musically. But I get that that's something that comes with it. And I think, as part of that, I keep people informed as to, if I'm playing a show or wherever that is, I'll put something on, just book this gig and this is the place, this is the time, this is the fee. If there's a fee, whatever there is, you let people know. And then the more people that come, the better atmosphere there is. And I'm just an acoustic guy. I'm not really a band that gets people dancing, but you build a following, and there's loads of small guys that are doing really well for themselves. And one of Fraser's friends, Andrew Sullivan, is a country guy who I met I found through Fraser and through the Ramsay-Unleashed thing, and I love his music and I can't stop listening to it, and I just think he's up there in one of my most listened to, not because I kind of know him, quote unquote, but because I really enjoy the songs. And, I've shown it to people and they enjoy the songs. So I think there's an important part of that, of just keeping people updated, keeping people knowing what you're doing. And if when you have a following, if that's going live on Facebook every now and again and playing some songs, giving like a guitar lesson for people who are interested or whatever that is, for you personally, then I think that's really cool.
Well, and something you said before I moved on to Guy and Altaviz, one thing you said though, Joe, was that you look up to someone else, and that's the thing is it's not because you somehow know this guy, it's because you actually look up to what this person does, and he does along the lines of what you do, and you want to kind of model yourself in some way, and I like that. Because that's also what podcasters, what I was going to get to Altaviz and Guy about, was with podcasters, I was going to ask those two, what do you guys, or who do you guys look up to? Who is it that you look up to, and who started you on your way to doing your podcast and really inspiring what you do now? And sorry, I went into host mode, and I'll give it back to Fraser. I apologize.
Who are you asking that question to, Guy or Altaviz?
Guy and Altaviz, but whoever wants to take first, go ahead and take first.
Well, as you should know, it's always girls first, you fool. Gosh.
Then Guy, go ahead and take it. Altaviz, take it. No.
No, when she stops laughing, it's girls first. Maybe.
Happy days.
Yeah, you're going to have to just fill, make it longer.
Oh, my goodness.
So I
okay, go
have
ahead.
to say that as a podcaster, first and foremost, this was my out because I'm an introvert. And so this allowed me to network and, be able to connect with people on a more personal level with, potential clients, potential people that I can network with and build with. And I have to say it, even though there are some that look at his podcast and they're like, Gary V.
There you go.
Gary V. And
that's a good one.
Because there was no, you only go live, you only do it for this amount of time, and you can only put this on your podcast. And no, Gary Vee's like, you're going to hear old messages, you're going to hear new messages, you're going to hear, it's going to be 10 minutes, it's going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes. There's no way for you to really gauge it. But the thing that really stood out for me was, because he is who he is, he shows up authentically him, his audience loves it.
Nice. I like that. And I actually, one of his guys, John Lee Dumas from EO Fire, Entrepreneur on Fire, one of his good friends, I actually got a chance to interview him and Kate Erickson, his life partner, not too long ago. Those are all great guys, and I'm so glad that Gary Vee is somebody who helped you out.
So you want to go to Guy next? Guy, you want to answer
the guy named Guy? Guy, come on.
Okay, enough with the guy jokes.
I've got plenty of them. I've got them for days.
Hey, Chicago's not that far away. As Roy D. Mercer would say, how big a boy are you? Anyway,
about 6'2".
As far as the inspiration, it was, honest to God, it was the nudge I got from Fraser Ramsey that basically broke the ice of my constant, I'm a Virgo. It's like I'm the guy that goes into the hotels and straightens all the pictures. You know what I mean? You ever been in a hotel and you seen a crooked picture? That means I haven't been there. Because if I've been there, I straighten them up. Anyway, it was Fraser's nudge to say, hey, you've got a microphone, you've got a computer, you've got all this technology behind you, employ it. And so that, coupled with my background in radio and television and the selling time, and Pat, that selling time, you've got to have it be trackable. Well, the internet is the most trackable media that there ever has been in the history of the world. I mean, I can tell you what hours of the day most people go to whatever social channel I want to know by looking at the analytics on it. Okay. So it was a good fit. It seemed like something I was meant to do. A long time ago, back in the 80s when I first got a computer, my full name is Guy R. Cook. What's significant about that is it's 8 characters. And in those days, if you had an 8-bit computer, that's how big it was. I mean, now there's 64-bit processors, and even bigger if you got the bucks. But 8-bit processor, that was, back in the floppy disk days, as Altavis was saying, that's what it was. It was 8 characters. And so it seemed like a natural thing to do. Now, on blues music, one thing I want to say to Joe, a long time ago, because everything was a long time ago with me, right? But there was this lady came in this chat room. We were type chatting, not video like this. And she said, well, my husband's in a band and they want to put their music on the internet, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Well, I figured out how to make MP3s, take a piece of the MP3. That was my introduction to Audacity, and took a 20-second sample of each song. Because I told the guy, I said, if you put the whole song online, they're never going to buy your album because they've got it. They're going to download it, burn it onto a disc, and forget about you, right? So the William Morris Agency, a big booking agency. Remember when I said about building a posse, Joe? That would be a good posse to hook up with if you get a chance. They heard this band from Dallas, Texas called the Silvertones. And they said, we need a band to open, the opening act for the Fabulous Thunderbirds. You ever heard of them? Yeah, I think we know who the Fabulous Thunderbirds are. So time marched on. William Morrison, she said, well, do you guys want to go on tour in France and Europe and stuff? We could book you to several places. No. We all got day jobs. We just do this on the weekend for fun. They went and opened for the Thunderbirds. The newspaper in Dallas, Texas, the Dallas Observer, has a vote every year on the best of thing. You've seen this probably in your paper, in Doncaster even. They voted the Silvertones as the best blues band for years now. Every year when they have that poll, they always win. They do openings for the next Harley shop that's going to open. They hire the Silvertones to do a live gig there and play a couple sets. et cetera, et cetera. So stay with it. You got a good idea. And so, is that long enough talking?
That's good. I think we've kind of probably, that's good. I'm just conscious of Altavisa's time. She's also got another interview to do. She's going to be interviewed out before the night is finished.
Christmas time is a special time. Christmas time is here. Christmas time is a joyous time. It's my favorite time of the year. Whoa, Christmas time is a special time. Christmas time is here. Christmas time is a joyous time. It's my favorite time of the year. People are smiling, children are laughing. A spirit of giving is in the air. People are sharing and helping each other, just to show how much they care. Whoa, Christmas time is a special time. Christmas time is here. Christmas time is a joyous time. It's my favorite time of the year. The bells are ringing, the snow is falling, the choir is singing and spreading good cheer. The children are waiting for Santa's presents. It's a joyous time of the year. Oh, Christmas time is a special time. Christmas time is here. Christmas time is a joyous time. It's my favorite time of the year. Whoa, wouldn't it be nice if every day felt like Christmas? Everyone would be happy all the time. The joy that's in your life can make every day feel like Christmas. Let the joy of Christmas fill your heart with love. Yeah. Christmas time is a special time. Christmas time is here. Christmas time is a joyous time. It's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the
year. But yeah, Altavisa, you want to say anything else? I'm just talking around.
So this is a mom moment. Joe, can you say hello to Aaliyah?
I think she is.
Hello, Aaliyah.
She's one of our. What is that? One of your daughters?
Daughter.
Your oldest daughter. She's got. There we go. There's your. Altavisa can be your mother-in-law.
And he's got that smooth accent, too, so you know she's happy over there in the corner.
Oh, yeah. He said hi to me, Mom.
On camera right now.
Yeah.
She's like freaking out in the kitchen right
now. Joe, there we go. That's hook up already.
That's more than I bargained for.
Joe, enjoy that while you're
Sorry, go ahead.
When you're 17, enjoy that, because when you're 68 like me, you don't get that so much.
On that note.
Yeah.
I'm halfway there, buddy. I'm halfway there, guy.
Yeah.
Oh, James. Well, no, as I say, for those who have been listening to this show, the crossover, and we're listening to some of the tunes that we played, as well. And you've heard some our guests. So we're going to just go quickly through our guests to give them a quick final word and to thank them for coming on to the Speakeasy podcast with Altavis and the Ramsay Unleashed Going Beyond Borders podcast joint Christmas special, which has been great. It's just nice to hear some interesting little stories of different people from all over the world. And just to kind of, as I say, good to sort of share the Christmas feeling and enjoy it. Before you know it, we're back into the grind come January and doing the usual stuff and just getting on with it. And before you know it, we'll be back around this area again next year. So, so let's. I'll just do a quick. Guy, give us a quick wrap up as you like to do your Friday wrap ups. Give us a quick wrap up.
Well, the wrap up for today is the same thing. I'm going to do an episode on it real soon about the elevator speech when they say, "What do you do?" And I got this from my father when he was still alive. Someone said, that internet stuff that guy does. He don't have a clue what I do. So my elevator speech start with a question that's engaging. I say, "Got a minute?" I'm the guy focused on internet solutions for business. Okay, short and sweet. You got 7 seconds to hook somebody. That's way under 7 seconds. So to everyone else that's listening, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Sorry I was a little bit late. They hadn't caught the bad guy yet in the movie we were watching. Anyway, have a good one. Here's to 2020 being great.
Okay, Pat.
Oh boy, I think I'll have to go kind of piggyback off of what Guy said. Is work on whatever it is that you do. Like you said, Guy, the elevator pitch. Work on it and make sure that you have that kind of deal down. For me, it's not necessarily in what I do. It's a little different, but for everybody, it's a little different. So really, right. it's listen. For me, it's I can take care of your broadcasting and voiceover needs. If you need my help, here's my card. I am easily reachable by email, and we can get this done. And normally, if I talk to them in that voice, they are taking that card. I haven't had anybody yet that have been like, you know what? Nah, keep that card. It's okay. I'm going to go get famous on TikTok.
I get it. Dorothea?
Yes. So my suggestion is to be authentically you. Unapologetic, be unauthentically you. Don't follow, keep your eyes off of everybody else, and just be personable. The one thing that I, want to end with, my podcast, I invite people who have gone through a journey, and any way that they've exited something, it lends to somebody else getting free from their situation. So I love to have people who will share their story, share their journey, so that somebody else can get free. Not necessarily DV all the time, but if somebody can see somebody else's journey, how they did it, how they got out, how they exited, it might give life to somebody else to say, you know what, I can get out from my situation, no matter what it is. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for having me. This has been exciting. I tell you, I needed this laugh today, and I had so much fun. You all are amazing.
Joe, how about yourself?
First of all, I'd like to thank Fraser and Altavis. I've never said that name before. For having me on. Because I literally, 2 weeks ago, I sent Fraser a message. I said, I've just recorded a new demo. I'm looking to promote it. Have you got any podcasts or anything coming up? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And 2 weeks later, here we are. It's been the most easy thing I've ever done. And it's my first time on some sort of radio. Actually, it's not. I was on a radio show when I was 10 years old, but I don't ever think it got aired. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But it's been my first one that I have been able to listen to back. So it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Anyone looking to find me can find me on YouTube. Just at Joe Warren. Just type in Joe Warren, and I pray to God I pop up. I should do. And you can find me on Facebook at Joe Warren Music 1. But other than that, thank you for having me on. Hope you enjoyed the song. There's plenty more to come where that came from, and more happy tunes to come, because it's a great song, I think, but without sounding cocky. But I like the song, but it is quite sad. It's got that vibe going for it. There's more happy things to come. So look forward to 2020 and keeping things cool then.
his next song will be a remake of Billy Ray Cyrus's "Achy Breaky Heart." So,
no, hey, Ramsay, his next song is going to be "I'm Altavisa's New Stepson."
Yeah. What was that show? Oh yeah, coming to America with Joe.
Yeah. That's it. So Altavis.
The way my cheeks hurt right now.
And that's exactly what I meant by it. Yay.
Like Altavis's daughters has turned a funny color of sheet white.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The kitchen will never be right.
Ever again. This has been an amazing experience, guys. My takeaway, my final thought for you guys is, listen, just do it. Can we stop trying to plan and stop trying to make it perfect and stop trying to make it look and sound like somebody? Just go for it. Do it. Jump all in. Sometimes the best way for you to learn how to fly is just by taking that leap. Or sometimes that's how you learn how to open your parachute. Either way, you're going to learn something on the way down. So my final thought to you guys is just go ahead and take that leap, because you never know where it's going to take you and who it's going to connect you to.
It's been great doing a nice idea joint podcast. It's been brilliant. Thanks for the people who managed to come along, which is great. Short notice. And as I say, it's a matter of just keep pushing forward and doing what you're doing. I've been kind of creating soap. You may have seen my posts on random pictures of soap all over the place. So and candles and wax melts, been kind of dabbling into that. But hey, it's all about just ideas, trying it, see where it takes you, and going from there.
Can you imagine Fraser's face on a bar of soap?
I don't really, well, maybe not, because I don't really, in case you want to clean a certain part of your body, I don't really want my face clean.
Ready, guys? Ready? There you go. Happy days.
Okay. I don't think that means no, I think I'll avoid the face in the bar of soap, but leave that one there.
Sounds like a song. What? Can you hear it, Joe? Joe, I put my face on a bar of soap. Yeah, there you go.
It's
going to be another hit.
I have another idea.
Well, you need it. Every time you have a hit song, you're going to have a B-side.
Well, there is, yeah, well, there is that over here. They have that. No, you probably have over there as well. That kind of bar of soap is for like, so face cloth is one side is for your face, the other side is for your ass. And so I don't really want to be on either side personally, but I'll leave that one there. But anyway, yeah, it's been great fun. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. And as I say, it's been good. And as I say, we'll have everyone's connection, little even an email or a website link just in the show notes for people to connect with these guys. As I say, it's been good fun, and it's good to, as if you're looking for voiceovers or anything, jingles done, DG drops, speak to Pat Voss for your podcast or something, or hey, always good to do. And as I say, it's good to support people in podcasting and what they do going forward. And as I say, I have Guy Cooks and Pat Voss is now on my show as a sort of supporter, which is great. And as I say, I'm going to be playing Joe's music. And if you've got music and you want to get your music on these guys' podcasts, hit them up, and hopefully they'll chuck a wee tune on their show. And it's been great. So thanks, Altavis, for doing a wee. It's been good fun, isn't it?
It's my pleasure. I look forward to it. We got to schedule another one.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. I was just going to ask that. I said, now that Altavis's daughter's way up to being brave enough to being in the kitchen, then we'll get her on camera next time, right? And we'll say, are you still kind of stuck on Joe, or is there a new guy?
I have a song for Joe. Joe, tell me what you think about this. They tried to make me go to TikTok. I said no.
Yeah.
See, that would be a perfect TikTok. That would
there
be
you go.
TikTok.
My point.
Musical
Exactly.
genius.
If there's time before Christmas, we've got basically 4 guests here. We've got some people who missed this opportunity. But if there's time down before Christmas or even after Christmas, we can try and squeeze in another joint one somewhere down the line, make it work at that, which is good fun.
Yeah, you know my phone number. I'm going to jet. I'm going to look like the busy guy, and I got to go.
Right, okay, you take it easy, guy. Thanks for being on it.
Ciao.
I swear, if he gives us a 555, we know it's fake.
Right, okay. Well, thank you. It's been good fun. But we'll, out of East, we'll plan another one.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether you can squeeze one before Christmas or after Christmas, or kind of in between the festive period, we'll see what we can work on and go from there. But it was cool. And thank you to everybody for being on. It's been good fun.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieve. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Than when we first begun.